Welcome back, everyone. From an early age, we're taught rules and, of course, encouraged to follow them or else. But what if you just don't agree with some of the socially acceptable rules out there and you don't think your kids should follow them either? Well, a mom's Facebook post is going viral over her stance on sharing. Get this. We decided we'd dive into it today with Kara Kinnear, author Dina Babel, and making her Real Talk debut, CEO of the Christy G Company, Christy Goranes. Hi, Christy. And you've been on water breaks, you know,
yes,
Kara.
Yes.
We're so happy to have you here on the Real Talk
Thank
table.
you.
I love it in the commercial break. What did she say? I'm very direct to Dina.
Yeah, I'm like, please, come on.
Yeah, and Dina's from one to the other
Yeah,
here.
right.
Okay, so I want you guys to weigh in. Please feel free to go to our Facebook page. The mom's name is Alanya Kohlberg. She shared this story. She was approached by the little boy, her son, was approached by several other boys who were demanding he share his toys with them. When he said no, the boys went and they tattled to their moms. She says she looked at the kids, told them her son didn't have to share with them if he didn't want to. She says she got dirty looks from the other parents. What are your thoughts?
I have a lot to say about it.
I have a lot to say about this too. Initially, your first thought. Tara, go.
No, you share your toys. Yeah.
Christy, your first thought.
Kill them with kindness.
Okay, Dina?
You don't always have to share.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's the Southern nice thing to do to share, but here's where I went with it. If you teach your kids to always share, always do what someone else asks you, do you really have your own opinion, right? And she says in the article, we're trying to raise children to be good adults, right? And if you're always saying yes to everything people ask you, I don't know if you get to say no. So as you get older and someone asks you something and you just want to say no, I think you're more empowered to say
Right.
no.
But I don't think it's that deep. It's
Right,
like
I made
toys
it
that a
deep.
player,
I
you
made it
know,
deep.
Yeah.
I will say, again, first instinct,
Right.
I was with you too, and I get what you're saying, but when you're saying it's not that deep, right, it's like share.
Right.
Well, my comment, kill him with kindness, was more of a sarcastic kindness in the sense of, oh, sweetie, that's so nice, but he's not, ready to share his toys right now, and kind of move them along. That's the kind of kindness.
Yes.
That's not,
And you know, kids go through that little age where they have trouble sharing. That
Yeah.
one,
Oh, I know.
You know,
It's terrible.
where it's a lot, and sometimes maybe the mom wanted to break. Like, I don't want to deal with this right now. I just want him to play a little bit. But I hear you.
I
hear
respect
you.
it, Kara.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, on the flip side of that, then what are you teaching them that he doesn't have to, like, communicate with others, too? Like, they're tattling on their, like, it's not like they're children trying to figure this out, right? So you could be like, figure it out. You have to share your toys. What if he the next day wants to play with somebody else's toys, and then he
Yeah.
has a big fit because nobody will share with him?
Right.
And then do you say, well, sorry, yesterday you didn't want to share your toys?
I think
You
it
know, that was
depends
fair
on the
play.
overall message. I hope the mom is encouraging him to share, and it was just a one-off incident.
I don't know. Well, we're going to the next one, but I'm going to agree with you too. And that, hey, I'm going to take the high road. I will teach my child, this is the right thing to do. I know there are extenuating circumstances, but the high road, I'm always going to feel good about my actions. Those are the ones I can control, mine and my child's,
Right.
you know?
Also, like the moms giving dirty looks, that kind of makes me laugh because I would just be like, okay. I mean, we're all trying to do the best we can, like just
I
lighten
know.
up, you know.
Okay, so the
Fine.
mom, was a little bit vocal about it. Thus, is the reason why we're talking. She goes, "Whose manners are lacking here? The person reluctant to give his 3 toys away to 6 strangers, or 6 strangers demanding to be given something that doesn't belong to them, even when the owner is obviously uncomfortable." That's again being a little dramatic. They demanded. I would have had to.
I think the
witness-
mom maybe got beat up or something when she was in school.
She's having a flashback.
Right.
Well,
We
it's
dive
different
deeper.
in a public setting versus a private setting. I mean, you're there at the park with your own toys. You don't know the 6 strangers. They could run off with the product.
Sure,
And
no,
she
that's
commented,
true.
if I was sitting there with my phone and 6 moms walked up and wanted to use my phone, do I need to share my phone?
Now that
That
perspective
is true.
again.
Or maybe one of them was sick.
we don't know. We
It
don't
really
know.
doesn't matter. I mean, you
Right.
don't have to. If you're in your own home and you invite kids over, then let's
Then
teach
you
your
do
child
have
how to share.
Yes.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yes,
that.
I did have a friend who one time, again, we were at their house, their turf, their toys, and my daughter tried to grab something, and she's just not good about sharing her things. I'm like,
Yeah.
by definition, that no, I mean it's allowing somebody,
Yeah.
giving them, whether it's an object, your time, it's what do you mean she doesn't like to share her things? I mean, what are you teaching
Yeah,
them?
I had a friend who said to me once that before they would have a play date, each of their kids would get to pick one thing. Each of their kids would get to pick one thing they didn't want somebody else to play with, and then they'd put it
That's
away.
good. That's
And
good.
then they had free
Oh,
reign
I
on
don't know if
everything
I
else.
like that. Dina,
Yeah.
you
I
like-
do like it because, again, there's certain, like my son, he's got these little speed boats that if someone touches it, he'll freak out because he loves his speed boat. But if he's playing with our neighbor with the speed boat, he loves it. If Jack, our neighbor, picks up the boat, he's going to freak out because it's his favorite toy.
Well, that's a
it's
good
not because he's
point.
not playing with him,
Right.
but it's something he's very proud of
It's
and
his
he
personal.
wants.
It's
and
his
it's his
very personal
stuff.
to him.
Yes, I know it is a good perspective. I see both points,
Yeah.
but initially I'm like, come on and share that speedboat.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I do make him share other stuff, and I mean, I don't let him be a
Just-
bully,
no,
but
of course
sometimes
not.
there's things that people don't want to share. I mean, I had a girlfriend in high school that would never share her good hairspray. She'd make us use White Rain, and she used Paul Mitchell.
No,
Trina, hey Trina.
Trina.
I'd call her
Paul
out, Trina
Mitchell.
wouldn't let us use her hairspray.
she never forgot about
She
that.
kept hers hidden underneath, and she would wait, and we would go in and be like, "Shh, girl."
She knew it.
She knew what she was
too.
doing. All right, so we were going to go break through this list because she's not the only one afraid to break some socially acceptable rules. Here are some others. Suggested parenting rules that parents say they do not follow. I'm going to repeat that again. They do not follow the following rules. Number one, limiting screen time. One mom says too much regulations might just backfire. Screens are just simply a part of our life's landscape now. Who agrees with not limiting screen time?
That would not be me.
That would not be me. Totally disagree with this.
I do too.
Yeah.
And also, we really, I mean, as much as we know certain studies, but we really don't know the ramifications because we
don't.
haven't studied them that long of what it is doing to our children's brains, you know, at such a young age. So absolutely not.
And it makes them a little crazy.
It does.
I mean, seriously, when I tell my daughter, like, you can't play a game anymore, her whole demeanor changes.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
she's a great girl, and you see it, and you're like, girl, like, relax.
Yes.
It's just a phone.
Because I have so many of them, I'm not going to call any of them out, but I've had a 14 and 15-year-old, I hate the word, literally fall on the ground, basically kicking and screaming by taking the phone away.
I believe it.
I mean, it was like a toddler tantrum as a teenager. So it does reroute their.
Think about like our mature brains,
Yeah.
our very mature brains when we go somewhere without our phones, how it sends us into a
Yes,
panic,
I know,
right? So
I
mean, their
know.
little baby brains can't handle that.
And a person's brain doesn't even mature. I mean, a man's is like 28 years old. I'm not being funny. But most, I'm dead serious scientifically. So think about a
believe
kid who's 8 or 6 and they're trying to regulate that.
Right.
They can't. They can't
I don't.
self-regulate.
Right. I don't agree with that. Okay. Do you agree with this one? Don't give in to your kids quitting a sport or activity that they've committed to. One mom says she doesn't make her kids continue to do something they decide they don't like before the season is over. So again, she doesn't make the kids continue. Do you agree with that?
I don't, but I have friends that have taken their kids out of situations. They say they're not happy, so they take them out. I was unhappy a lot when I was growing up. My parents were like, "You got to finish it."
too.
Right, it's
So-
expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, just the amount of money you pay
Right.
monthly for it, and then all the clothes you have to get, or shoes
Agree.
and soccer ball, all those things. It's a commitment. They need to learn that early
And
on.
kids are fickle. I remember my son
True.
not liking soccer. And so he finished the season. About 2 years later, he begged to play soccer.
Right.
Had he not had that experience, he wouldn't know he wanted to play
Right.
soccer.
Yes, I
Right.
know. I say finish out the season.
I do
Caroline
too.
and Kate last year with cheer. Well, it's not as much gymnast. I was like, who cares?
Right.
Because you've got these big bows that cost $25.
Right. That's right.
Ooh, you know how that upset me. I was like, okay, $25, we can get it on Amazon for 2. Okay, the next one, it's a true story. Education is everything. One mom says, as long as my kids are able to stay on top of their grades and work, I think life is an education too. So I'll agree with that.
Yeah,
I
agree.
mean, I want them to do their absolute best. I want them to strive to create good habits so that they do know how to get better about studying as they get older in the workforce. But
But it's not one size fits all, right? Like
No, it's
people
not.
learn differently in all facets of life, and you kind of have to find the lane you belong in and keep on going.
I agree.
right, did you agree with that?
Yes, and I think it's hard to educate a child to be kind and charitable, and if they're, I prefer my kids to have that and to be successful versus straight A's across the board.
I do too.
Right.
To have better
Yes.
people and social skills,
Right.
I
Yes.
feel like.
And the last one, we're out of time, says don't spoil your kids. Once they grow up, you can't get that time back. So those first few years, I mean, it really can just be all about fun.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Fun for who again?
Yeah, right?
exhausted.
I'm sorry, I'm exhausted. These little brats. I love them. Yeah.
It's a
11
blessing.
The moms
11
need
is
to be
so fun.
spoiled.